Let's talk quickly about our players.
Ooh.
Had some standouts. Travis Head, the first half of the series, I thought was absolutely magnificent.
Yep.
A genuine bully to the Indian bowlers.
Had him on. Yep. Had the team on his shoulders.
It looked like he was using a different ball to everyone else.
Yep. Agree.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought it was good to see Steve Smith back in the runs, although scratchy early.
Very scratchy early.
Good century in Brisbane, was it?
Yep.
And another one in the MCG. Again,
Yeah,
not
backing up was good.
he's not. You can see that he's probably past where he was, but it's good to see him make runs as gritty as they are.
Yeah, but mate, it's making 100's not easy,
That's right.
especially at that level. So you know what? Hats off. I definitely thought, geez, if he has a lean summer, he's probably. But
Yeah.
he actually got a couple, and he backed it up, and he got another one as well in Melbourne, and then so that leads into obviously Sri Lanka and
Yep.
the Ashes, and
Yep.
he's pretty much set himself in for that. And then what happens after that? Who knows?
Who knows? And then who else do we had? I thought Alex Carey was really good. He probably came into the series arguably with the best form in Shield cricket. I think he only made one score over 50, but he probably a little bit disappointed by that because he had some opportunities to really actually put the hammer down.
He got the 20s and the
out.
30s. He actually played a little bit of an anchor role a fair bit with Head or someone like that, Smith or anything like that. Get your 20 while they're getting, say, 40 odd.
Yeah.
It helps.
He just looks a little bit uncomfortable on his off stump for whatever reason. Like, he gets bowled through the gate a little bit, which is a little concerning. And then we've got Labuschagne, I thought, was a worry. He went into the summer lean, had a couple of 60s, and I think he had a 70 somewhere. Batted really, really well in the dark with McSweeney in Adelaide, as we said before. That was tough batting.
Yeah.
But he looks...
But that's your job.
He looks lost.
Yep, that's your job
Mistiming
as well.
deliveries, just looks out of the place. He's not really turned the strike over much.
If there was a standout, that's the thing. If there was a standout, the level below, he would be under 10 times more pressure, but we just haven't.
There's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
Yeah.
There's nothing like guys are making runs, but they're not making consistent runs.
Yep.
And then they get in a little bit of form, and then once their name gets thrown up in the lights, they just start to pressure's on. And it's youth too. You don't really want to bring in, although they did bring in Webster, who's a little bit older, but you don't want to bring in a guy batting at 3 or 4 that is 22, who hasn't been consistent, like going through. Like the opening spot was like literally like dartboard sort of set up at one point.
Yep.
And you don't want to do that again because you can't take that risk twice, I don't think. You can't have 2 of those players in one team.
Yeah, and that sort of happened with McSweeney. They took a risk on him, which at the time I thought was a pretty good call. I feel for him because he was thrown in some really, really tricky situations. Perth was really, really hard to bat. And then Adelaide literally batting for his life at night. And he survived it, which is frustrating because he got out pretty cheaply the next day.
What about getting interviewed at the airport saying you're looking forward to your Boxing Day test? Yeah, can't wait to get out there. And the next day it dropped.
Yeah. Well, then he went to he played for Brisbane Heat and made 76 that
And
night.
won the game.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to him. That was amazing.
Yeah.
But I think he's been included to Sri Lanka, and he should be, in my opinion, because I think that he should get back into that setup as soon as possible. I think,
Well, he
given
could
a
drop
really,
down.
he's not an opener.
He could go to Labuschagne's spot maybe, potentially. Well, there you go.
Well, Flem called that when we had a chat with him the other week. He said that because Labuschagne's only 30, I think 31 this year, so you got time to get dropped and come back. You're gonna have a spell and whatever.
Give him a crack.
Yeah, I think there's room for that. So I thought Usman Khawaja he didn't have a great summer. I thought probably a little bit under the radar because everyone's talking about the other opener.
Again, there's nothing.
There's no pressure, but he just the ways he gets out too. He's for whatever reason he keeps coming back to deliveries. And he's jumping and he's scared. And it's like you've got to get your front foot out. You have to get your front foot out.
And I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was saying it is extremely hard to be an opening batter at 38 years old. Not many people have gone from, say, batting at 3 or 4 to opening and had a better average.
Yeah.
I think the only person who did that was Simon Kadich, and he was actually the guy I was talking to about that, so he was just reeling off his own stats. He averaged 45 at 4 and then went up and averaged 50 when he opened. And he opened when he was 37 at one point. So, like, it is hard. The older you get, like, you're literally new ball.
I actually based a lot of my
moving around
backyard cricket batting on Simon Kadich's footwork. So if you do see him next time, tell him that's true.
I will.
And of course, that bowlers, I thought Cummins struggled in Perth, but unbelievable series other than that. I thought he was brilliant, actually. His bowling. Easily our best. I thought Stark was really, really good. Probably unlucky in the wickets tally. But that's about it. I thought he was really, really good. Played a really good role.
Yeah, and the thing was, when you look at it, it's like Cummings worked his way in to the series and obviously got better as it went on. Stark started really well and it probably got tired towards the end because he bowled a lot.
He probably shouldn't have played the Sydney Test in hindsight.
Yeah.
Apparently he refused to be rested.
Yeah, well, that's good. But
I agree with you,
get
but
tired.
also it's like he was wearing pretty thin, I reckon.
And then you had Hazelwood, like very good, obviously got injured, then Bowen comes in very good. So he's got it's like a 50-50 split there, and Stark and Cummings have done sort of like the whole thing. And it's a big workload for fast bowlers. I know I definitely take the piss out of them. Oh, mate, you just like run in, you stand around most of the time. But it is like a big effort.
Tough
and
work.
It's exhausting. You're out in the field all day long and then, here's the ball, you charge in.
About 25 overs in a session, yeah.
So
I
they worked it out pretty well, but I thought with the fast bowlers, they worked that,
they did.
That series.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.